Hey, what's up guys, Steven here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about the best NAS systems for 2020. So we already made a video for the best or top 5 NAS systems in 2019, and you guys wanted to see some bigger NAS systems. So in the last video we tested NAS systems up to 4 bays, but today we'll show you some 5 bay solutions, 6 bay solutions, and also some extension boxes like here for the Synology NAS. So very interesting, and now I would say let's go. Now guys, first of all, what is a NAS system for all the newbies? So NAS stands for Network Attached Storage. That means you can put in hard drives in those boxes and host your data. Now it's different than having the hard drive in your computer, because these are attached to your modem or router and you can access the data from the web or even from your local network. That means you can run there some media servers for music or audio streaming. You have some more backup flexibility, for instance. You have RAID systems in those boxes. That means your data is stored kind of safe. And also you can have really many hard drives in some of the NAS systems. That means you can have a lot of data there to back up, for instance, videos, games, pictures. Especially me as a video creator, I really need a lot of space to save all my video projects. But also I need a fast storage to actually get the videos in case I need them. And this is everything you can do with a NAS system. Now guys, when you're buying a NAS system, you can actually choose to buy a pre-configured NAS, that means with the hard drives in there, or you can just buy the empty box and add your own hard drives. Now normal hard drives are not made for 24/7 usage. Normal hard drives in a computer, they run a few hours a day, and they're actually different on the internal components. Now I'm personally using WD RADs. They're actually really reliable. You can get them for a very good price in also different sizes up to really huge hard drives. And also there are also different levels of performance. Now for a home user, or especially also for me for video editing, actually the WD RADs are fast enough and they're very good price. And always make sure that you're buying some NAS drives when you're building your own NAS system. Now if you're looking for a small system to add some storage to your network, then the Terramaster F2 is actually a really nice device. So this box looks pretty cool here in silver. It only costs around $150. That means it's an entry-level device, very cheap. In the front we have here 2 bays, basically to put in hard drives. It supports up to 32 terabytes. That means the maximum you can put in are 2 16 terabyte hard drives. On the front we have a power button and some status LEDs like power, Ethernet, and if the HDDs are working. On the back we have 2 USB 3.0 type A ports. Only one Ethernet port, it's a gigabit port, not a 10 gigabit port, and yeah, a power connector. So it's a very basic system, but actually very good for the price. Alrighty, now let's have a closer look at the Terramaster interface. Well, it's new to me because before I've just used QNAP and Synology, but also Terramaster has here this NAS application which you can get from the App Store, or basically on Windows just download it from the website, and it will find your NAS really easily, and then you just double click it and then you can already log into your NAS. So this is how it looks like. You have here a little overview over the status of your NAS, so how long it's already online, then basically the Ethernet connection, the internet connection, the speed over the Ethernet right now, and also here you can see the CPU consumption, the total memory and the memory consumption, and yeah, what's going on with the storage. Now you have here a nice neat UI, to be honest, and here we have also applications. You definitely recognize that this is a Chinese manufacturer, because the first thing here is actually Alibaba Cloud, but for sure you also have Western drive integrations like Dropbox, Google Drive, and yeah, you can also run an iTunes server on there, you can run Java server, whatever you want. So Plex is also in there, you can run a database as you can see, and there are not too many apps, but I would say around 40 apps are available here under applications. Then also we have an integrated file manager as always, so you can also run an FTP on there. You can set different users. Then let's check out here the control panel where we have the user configuration. You can set up shared folders, you can set up a web server. You can also for sure set up your own private cloud if you want to do that. And yeah, it's actually pretty neat what you have right over in here. Then here we have something like notifications, so just like on QNAP or all the others. Then here you can change the languages, so different languages are available, as you can see, many Chinese, Asian ones, because, well, it's a Chinese manufacturer. And yeah, we have here a full automatic backup function. You can also use it as a time machine. We have remote access. You just need to configure DDNS or use tnas.online. So however you want to, web configuration can be a little bit tricky depending on your modem, but you can access the NAS from your smartphone, from a computer, also outside of your home. Virtual disk is also something that's really nice, and yeah, it's really a neat user interface. To be honest, I start to like Terramaster really a lot because it's very usable, but just the applications in the App Store, there are not too many, so other manufacturers are providing more apps right over here, but I'm pretty sure that this is also going to grow in the future. Alright guys, so that's the interface on the Terramaster. I hope you liked it, and now let's continue. Now guys, overall the Terramaster F2-210 is a low-cost private NAS. That means if you're just looking for something where you can put in 2 hard drives for some backup solution or even install some apps from the app catalog, this thing is doing quite good. And for sure we also have a giveaway for you guys, so you can win one Terramaster F2-210. So check out the link down below in the description and follow the instruction. Now guys, if you're looking for something bigger with more bass but also something more powerful, then you should have a look at the Terramaster F5. From the outside it looks very similar, just a bigger F2, but the internals are very different, and also the ports on the back side. So first of all, we have here dual fans to keep the more drives really cool. Then we have an HDMI port to connect it to a monitor, so to get something on the display. Then we have 2 USB ports for some more external storage. We have 2 1 gigabit ports, one 10 gigabit port for some very fast connection, just in case you have a 10 gigabit switch or you want to use a Thunderbolt adapter. And last but not least, we have 1 power connector. So this doesn't come with 2 power connectors, but well, usually at home the power supply doesn't really break. Now, as I've told you, the internals are very different to the F2. So we have a 1.5 GHz quad-core processor with 4 GB of RAM pre-installed, but you can even upgrade this to up to 12 GB of RAM. Also, it has enough power for 4K 8-bit 30p transcoding, and yeah, it's a very powerful NAS for video streaming. Another cool thing is that you can install different operating systems on this NAS. So the operating system is on a kind of USB drive inside of the NAS. That means you can replace it and boot it from a different USB drive, and you can run some different things like Linux on that, which is really cool if you want to use it as a microserver at home. Now the operating system looks pretty much like on the F2. The cool thing is that you can also connect the NAS with HDMI to a monitor and do everything from there, which is really nice, and we'll quickly have a look at that. Now let's have a quick look at the interface of the Terramaster F5. So here we have the login, and there we go. And as you can see, the Terramaster F5 interface looks pretty much similar to the F2, but well, there are some slight differences. Now first of all, here you can see that we have 4 GB of RAM, so it's actually much more powerful. And if we go here to applications, then I actually saw that there are much more applications available than on the F2. So as you can see, there's also VirtualBox available, and also here under all apps, there are a few more apps than you have on the F2, but in general, the interface is very similar. I really like it because, well, it's easy to use, it looks nice, and also the icons, they look very well polished. So it's a pretty cool user interface, and yeah, let's have a quick look at the control panel here once again, so you can see an overview over what you can do. So the storage manager, it's everything about your hard drive. You can create partitions, a virtual disk, manage your external storage. Then here you have some things like power settings, you have some system information, you can configure your network also as a web server, and you can create different users and user groups. So overall, well, very neat interface here from Terramaster. So well, overall a very neat interface. Here on the Terramaster F5. So guys, now I want to show you something really cool. So in the last video we've tested the Synology DS918 Plus, and it was one of the best NAS we've ever tested, but it's just a 4-bay NAS. So just imagine you don't have the money to buy a really big NAS, you start with a 4-bay one, you have all your data on there, you have your RAID system on there, but then you decide to add some more hard drives. Now Synology has here a really nice solution, and this is called the Synology DX517. So you can connect this box via an eSATA cable directly to your NAS system and extend the base here in this case by 5 slots, which is really amazing. So this is not a standalone NAS system, so you need the original NAS in order to function, but it's very simple. All you have to do is just connect it to power, attach the eSATA cable, and then you can have here some more base, as you can see. You can also do a separate RAID system here on this box, and this is really cool if you want to expand your NAS, but you don't want to buy a second NAS, which can get very expensive, and also, you know, it's harder to set up and to manage it. Now it's very easy to use. All you have is a power button, a few LEDs here for the status, if there's an alert, if there's something wrong with the system, and an LED for the eSATA connection. You don't need any tools to swap the hard drive, so just get this out, put your hard drive in, then just slide it back in and lock it. And you can also lock the base here with the Synology key, which you can take with you. So it's a very easy to use expansion for your already really nice Synology NAS. Now when you're looking for something really professional, something a little bit more complex but really powerful, then I can really recommend the QNAP right over here. So this is the TX635D, and it's a really powerful NAS system. First of all, it's a kind of different QNAP. So the QNAP you have seen from my last video, it's the one I'm still using. It has a display, internal power supply, it's really huge, but the new one looks here kind of basic. First of all, we have here some plastic cover which you can slide off, and in here we have 6 bays. Now in order to open them up, you just have to press here and slide them out, so it's really easy. Just put in the hard drive and then you can slide it back in. So you cannot lock the hard drives, and it's a little bit more basic than the QNAP NAS I have. But well, it's very simple and easy to use. First of all, here we have some LEDs for the status. We have a power button to turn it on. We have a front USB 3.0 port, USB-A, with a file transfer button. That means, for instance, to copy some things from your hard drive to the NAS or the other way. Then on the back side, we have a couple of very cool ports. So here on the back side, we have an HDMI port, 4K 60. It's really cool if you want to directly play back something from your NAS, because, well, you don't have any latency and the output is really good. We have another USB 3.0 port and 3 USB 2.0 ports, which is a bit weird, but well. Then we have 2 Ethernet ports, and they are not 1 gigabit, they're actually 2.5 gigabit. There's also a QNAP USB adapter, and you can use both ports at the same time to get up to 5 gigabit, so around 500 megabytes per second. So this is really fast, just in case if you also want to use it over USB. That makes really sense. Then we have 2 fans, we have a lock, and we have the connector for the power supply. Now this NAS comes with an external power supply, so my QNAP actually has an internal power supply, but to be honest, I prefer external power supplies, because just in case if the power supply breaks, you can just buy a new one and plug it in and it works. Now regarding the performance, the QNAP NAS is very powerful. We have an Intel Celeron processor with up to 2.7 GHz and 4 GB of RAM pre-installed. You can upgrade to 8 GB of RAM as well. On the back, if you check this out, there's a PCI Express expansion card. That means you can, for instance, add an SSD for the cache, or maybe in the future 10 gigabit port. So regarding the performance, this NAS is really powerful. It's also no problem to run this as a media server or stream content in 4K 60 directly from the system. Then now let's quickly have a close look on how the interface looks like. Now guys, let me quickly show you the QNAP interface. So well, in order to find the NAS, it's super easy. You download the QNAP Finder Pro. You can get it from the App Store on macOS, or from Windows you can download it from the website. And if you want to log into the NAS, even if it has a dynamic IP address, all you have to do is just double click. It opens up the interface, you log in, and it's done. Now the user interface looks very well polished. So first of all, here we have a little helper, so here you can see your current memory, the background processes and everything, so that's really useful. You also have here a little dashboard where you can see your CPU and RAM consumption and some more in-depth things like the system temperature, how fast the fans are running, the network connectivity right now, and yeah, also you can upgrade the firmware, and it's really nice and super easy to use. Well, with QNAP you always get a lot of notifications if something goes wrong. Every time I log into my NAS I can see something, but that is pretty good because you always know what's going on with your NAS. Now here we have a control panel, as you can see, so I don't want to go in depth on all that, but here you can see once again the specifications of this unit. You can set different users and user groups. You can select shared folders for different users. You can configure the whole FTP network settings, and there is really a lot to adjust. So you need to go really in depth in order to use all the settings. Now here we have the App Center, which is for users probably the most important thing. And in here you can basically download apps. So if you go here to all apps, you get a quick overview on how many things you can install on the QNAP. This is absolutely crazy. So in there you can see everything from basic antivirus to server-side things to QNAP cloud stuff, Plex media server if you want to stream something, and really many things. You can even run WordPress on the NAS and host your website, so it's really crazy what you can do here. On my NAS personally, I run a duplication of my real website to try out things. It's really cool, so you should definitely give this a try. Then we have HDMI display applications. This is really cool, because if you start the hybrid desk station, you can actually see what you can install on the NAS and run over HDMI. So the Google Chrome browser, Facebook, surveillance for the cameras, then also Skype, Spotify, so really many things. And I would really recommend to check it out. As you can see, you can adjust plenty of things here, really everything you want to do, and it's a super nice UI. I mean, it's one of the cleanest and fastest UIs you can see, and also with some really nice icons, so it's very easy to use. Also, if you connect external devices, you can see them right over here and quickly get access to them, and also set different users here for the NAS. And overall, I'm very happy with this user interface provided by QNAP. Alright guys, so we're now here at the end of this video, and I really hope you liked it. Well, personally I'm using a QNAP NAS, the one you have seen in my previous video, because it has Thunderbolt 3 ports. That is for me very important if I want to connect directly to the NAS from my MacBook Pro, because then I can access the data really fast. Now, if you don't want to copy things quite often or don't want to work from the NAS itself, well, you can actually connect every NAS with a normal network connection, as you have seen, but then if you really need big files, this can take some time. If you want to spend more money, you can for sure get a NAS with a 10 gigabit port, then you can get some really nice speeds. You can also get a 10 gigabit to Thunderbolt 3 adapter, which is working really cool as well. So which NAS to buy really depends on what you need and what your budget is. Actually, the 2-drive Terramaster is also really great because, well, it's very cheap, and if you're just looking for a basic backup solution, this is actually the NAS to get. Then we get to a 5-bay system or 4-bay system, so you can get most of the models in different sizes. Well, if you're looking for more professional systems with more features, like also 10 gigabit, then you should have a look at Synology and QNAP, because they also have some really nice features. And what I really liked about the QNAP is that it's very easy to access your own cloud and even create your own cloud on the smartphone. So, well, I really hope that we could show you some different NAS systems and use cases, and that you have now a little bit more of insights on that. Anyhow, you can also win the Terramaster 2-bay, so we have a giveaway. Check out the link down below to participate. And if you have any questions about any system, then feel free to ask and leave a comment down below, and I will try to reply as soon as possible. Also, big thanks to our sponsors for sending all the samples, and also big thanks to Western Digital for providing the WD RADs. They are really reliable, good priced, and if you're looking for some hard drives, then make sure to check them out. So as always guys, big thanks for watching. I'm Steven from Tech Magnet, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a nice day and bye!